Welcome to People Want to Know, an immigration segment where we take your questions that you send to us on social media and attorney Jessica Dominguez answers them. Right now, I would like to welcome her. Thank you so much for being here this week.
Thank you, Hijo. It's my pleasure to be here with you every week.
This week on People Want to Know, what we did is we took the 5 most frequently asked questions about the I-601A waiver, and we're going to answer them. That's what we're going to do this week on People Want to Know.
Yes, but before we go there, I just want to remind all our viewers that if they have any questions about what is the I-601A waiver, what is this new process, who qualifies, what steps do I need to take with USCIS and with the NVC? For those answers to those questions, you should go and visit the videos that we already have on JessicaDominguez.com.
Absolutely, absolutely. Basically how we do this is we take the questions that you send to us on JD.com, on our Twitter, Abogado Latina, on our Facebook, Abogado Jessica Dominguez. We read them, and basically we took the top most 5 frequently asked questions. So let's get right into it.
And the webpage is not JD.com, it's JessicaDominguez.com.
Right. If you know one thing about our team is we shorten everything, so thank you for the correction. And let's get right into People Want to Know most frequently asked questions about the I-601A waiver right now. The first question is from JessicaDominguez.com from a man named John in Arizona. After filing the I-601A waiver, do I still have to leave the country?
The answer is, after filing the I-601A waiver, no, you don't have to leave the country, but you will have to leave the country after the waiver gets approved. So once the waiver gets approved, then you go abroad for your interview, and then you'll be able to come back with your legal permanent residency. The question then becomes, how long will I have to be out? The answer is, we don't know as of yet. They have told us that it will be a short period of time, but once we start seeing people going abroad for their interviews after the waiver gets approved, then we'll be able to give them more information.
Great, thank you so much for that information. I think that's a question that we're receiving all over social media is how long are we going to have to do this and how long are we going to have to leave the country? And we keep getting that over and over again, but the answer is plain and simple. We just don't know.
Because the process hasn't been developed in such a way where we see people going out and coming back.
But as soon as we know, we're going to be answering them on our social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Yes, but the specific answer is, do I have to leave the country? Yes, once the waiver gets approved, you will have to go out for your consular interview. Great.
Question number 2. Will I be referred to ICE for removal proceedings if my application is denied?
JP, the director of USCIS, Alejandro Mayorkas, has told us that they're not interested in referring people to deportation proceedings unless the person who has submitted a waiver has either tried to commit fraud, and we all know, do not ever try to commit fraud under immigration laws because that is a no-no. So avoid submitting any type of false evidence, even if someone is telling you that that's okay to do. Also, if the person applying has some type of a criminal record, some type of a crime that makes them deportable, then those people also have to be careful. That is the reason why I tell you, do not submit a waiver unless you know that the only reason why you're submitting the I-601A is because you have the 3 or 10-year bar.
Great, thank you for answering that question. Let's move on to most frequently asked question number 3. The question comes from Jocelyn in Colorado, and it says, what happens if I'm undergoing deportation proceedings?
Well, anyone who finds themselves in this situation, they should be speaking to their attorney so that they speak to the trial attorney, who is the government counsel, and request that their files get temporarily closed or administratively closed. And of course, the judge will have to approve this in order that you will then have the opportunity to submit your waiver here in the United States. And if you do qualify, can then apply for the waiver here. And once it gets approved and the judge gets the information, then you'll be able to go to your consular process interview abroad.
Thank you again. Let's move on to question number 4. We received a question on YouTube from our friend Alberto in North Carolina, and he asks, can I qualify for a work permit while a decision on my I-601A application is pending?
No. Unfortunately, those individuals who are registering these waivers, they're not obtaining any type of status. All they're doing is they're waiting for this waiver to be approved, and once the waiver gets approved, then they go to their consular process interview and they come back with legal permanent residency. They will not get a work permit.
Last but not least, we move on to question number 5, and it comes from Facebook from a woman named Maribel from Utah. The question reads, my spouse already left the country. Can they apply for the I-601A provisional waiver?
The requirement is The answer is no. One of the requirements that are given to us is that the person applying for the I-601A has to be present in the United States. So those that left, unfortunately, no longer qualify.
Thank you so much for answering the 5 frequently most asked questions about the I-601A waiver. One question that we've been really getting on social media, and hopefully we can answer, is about the affidavits of support. Can we talk about that next week?
I'll be here, sure.
Great. Well, you guys just heard it on People Want to Know. Next week, we're going to be talking about affidavits of support and get legal commentary from attorney Jessica Dominguez. Thank you so much for sharing, subscribing, and watching our videos each week. We'll see you next week. Thank you.